If you are like me, then your 20s is that weird period between studying for a diploma and working to feed your own family. Ito yung age kung saan we feel the most free kasi kakagraduate lang natin from college and wala pa tayong masyadong mabibigat na responsibilities. 20s then is when you land your first job and receive your first paycheck. So ito rin yung time kung kailan masarap mag-browse sa Shopee and Lazada kasi may pambili ka na. We are constantly bombarded by targeted ads in our phones, in our computers, and even outside the house. Kahit saan ka lumingon, punong-puno ng advertisements na nagsasabi na kailangan mong bilhin to, kailangan mong i-upgrade yan, para daw mag-fit in tayo sa isang social construct. That being said, there are a lot of money traps that we should avoid in our 20s. Some are practices that we should incorporate into our lives, while some others are behaviors naman na pwede nating i-correct. Starting with the first one, which is rushing to upgrade your lifestyle. So guilty din ako dito, and one of the best examples that I can give you was when I bought my current phone. During my first year of working, napansin ko na palagi kong pinag-iisipan na bilhin yung latest phone at that time, which was I think the Samsung S9 lineup. Buti na lang meron akong office mate na mas matalino sa akin and mas rational mag-isip. And pareho yung mindset namin pagdating sa phone. And we agreed na ang hirap i-justify ng 30,000 pesos pagdating sa paggastos para lang sa isang cellphone. Kaya naman, I decided that I should just buy the Xiaomi Mi A1 kasi mas practical, mas mura, and pasok naman sa mga kailangan ko. So fast forward a few years later, nag-upgrade na ulit ako ng cellphone. Although hindi naman fully spec'd out and top of the line talaga yung phone na binili ko, considerably large amount of money pa rin yung nagastos ko for the phone, which I'm using right now to record my videos itong phone na to. Siguro a few years ago, I would have admitted na unnecessary lifestyle upgrade talaga tong cellphone ito. But in retrospect, parang naging investment na rin siya kasi nga nagagamit ko siya for my videos and I just didn't know it at that time. Buying a new phone in and of itself is not a bad behavior, no? That's not what I'm trying to say. Kasi we don't shame people for their financial decisions. We don't do that here.
We don't do that.
Ang worry lang natin dito is baka it evolves into a bad habit of instant gratification. Kumbaga nawawala na yung process of deliberation kung kailangan mo talaga yung features of this gadget. For example, huwag na tayong lumayo, you are in the market for a new iPhone. Yung first option mo ay 33,000 pesos, pero when you find out that the next option with slightly higher specs ay just 36K, sobrang tempting to just go for that other option, di ba? Marketing and pricing tactic kasi nila yon. So kung ready ka nang gumastos ng 33,000, parang barya na lang in this context yung additional na 3,000 pesos. This point doesn't only apply to cellphones, pwede rin sa other gadgets like iPad. Let's say nakapag-decide ka na to buy the iPad Pro 11-inch model for 45,000 pesos, but you realize na additional 17K na lang pala yung 12.9-inch model. Using the bad logic na ginamit natin sa smartphone, hindi na masama yung additional 17K when you compare it to the original 45,000 pesos that you are willing to shell out. But are you really willing to pay 17,000 pesos for an extra 1.9 inches? Okay, so pwedeng iPad lang yung bibilihin mo, di ba? Pero nowadays, buying an iPad is almost synonymous to buying the accessories as well. Kailangan mo ng Apple Pencil, kailangan mo ng Magic Keyboard. This is what we call the Diderot Effect. Diderot as in, pag gusto mong gamitin yung Apple Pencil with your iPad, mag-Diderot ka. In a nutshell, kapag bumili ka ng bagong item, you feel the need to upgrade each and every aspect that is related to that item. So for example nga, itong shiny new iPad mo, kumbaga sa start pa lang kinonvince mo na yung sarili mo that you need the accessories that usually come with the iPad, which are the Magic Keyboard and the Apple Pencil. Another example is this comic. This couple just bought a new sofa for their house. Hindi ko alam yung backstory nito, pero siguro sira na yung sofa nila kaya kinailangan nilang bumili ng bago. In short, sofa lang talaga yung gusto nilang bilhin. Pero right after nilang mabili at maiuwi sa bahay yung bagong sofa, nagmukha tuloy luma yung mga other furniture or other accessories like yung rug or carpet and yung lamp and yung curtains. It's like a domino effect, no, when you experience an upgrade in your standard of living. When we are under the Diderot effect, we make poorer financial decisions. It's good to upgrade aspects of our life because that's what we want and wala tayong problema dyan. However, it's always a good idea to always think twice, at least think twice before making a purchase. Ask yourself kung kailangan mo ba talaga mag-upgrade ng carpet or ng curtain or baka naman gusto mo lang bagayan yung hypothetical na bago mong sofa. In In the US, money is the second leading cause of divorce, and even though wala tayong divorce sa Pilipinas, it's still one of the leading causes of fights.
Ang pera natin, hindi basta-bastang mauubos. Pero ang pasensya ko, konti-konti na lang!
Fights that can be avoided kung sa simula pa lang aligned na kayo sa pag-approach sa pera. Meron man o wala, gipit man o sagana. If you and your partner or potential partner have different values, opinions, or behaviors, the word that comes to my mind is compromise. Recognizing that you are different is the first step, and walang problema doon. But if you really want to take your relationship to the next level, then you need to align your thinking or your approach when it comes to money. I'm lucky na yung partner ko is also interested in saving, in investing, just like me. Pero for other relationships out there, baka hindi sila ganun ka-aligned. Be ready to have the difficult conversations about money, and communication lang naman yung kailangan. Late 20s din yung usual age kung kailan nagpapakasal tayong mga Pinoy. So ideally, dapat na pag-usapan yun na before that, and kahit basic money matters man lang. Kung sa relationship nyo, ikaw lang yung marunong magtipid, mahilig mag-save, mahilig mag-invest, tapos yung partner mo is a perfect example ng first point na pinag-usapan natin, which was upgrading to the latest iPhone every year, then I think that's a sign of a high-maintenance relationship. Again guys, don't get me wrong, there's nothing inherently wrong sa pag-upgrade ng cellphone, especially if they truly, honestly get satisfaction from that, so wala tayong karapatang manghusga. But yeah, just keep in mind na it might be a challenge for you and your partner to move forward, especially kung kasing kuripot mo akong tao. Bago ko matutunan yung personal finance and investing, I would spend too much time thinking about kung ilalagay ko ba yung hard-earned salary ko sa bank X, sa bank Y, or sa bank Z, deciding only based on the highest interest rate. Itong following example is a very simplified version, and there are more terms and conditions that are designed to confuse us. Pero if we are comparing Bank X with 0.05%, Bank Y with 0.07%, and Bank Z with 0.06% interest rate, sa halagang 100,000 pesos na kapital, this means you are only comparing 50 pesos, 70 pesos, and 60 pesos. In short, sayang lang yung oras mo. I spent 6 years in grade school, 4 years in high school, and 5 years in college. Pero wala man lang subject or course na makakapagsabi sa akin that I was solving the wrong problem. Ang problema pala, I was trying to solve this problem kahit negligible naman yung differences in the grander scheme of things, solely because I don't have a formal education about personal finance and money management. One could argue that there are more important subjects and lessons, pero totoo ba wala man lang nakaisip na idagdag yan kahit isang semester lang?
Huwag kayo iiyak.
Kaya naman, unfortunately, we are all left to our own devices to learn about personal finance and money management. Marami namang free resources like books, seminars, and the like. Pero lalayo ka pa ba? Kasi dito pa lang sa YouTube, marami ka na matututunan. Yung benefits of learning personal finance in your 20s include: first, learning how to budget. Second, learning how to control your emotions and decreasing your impulse purchases. Second is preparation for your future. Fourth is practicing discipline, which you will need a lot of in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s. Fifth benefit is learning how to embrace delayed gratification. And finally, you will also be comfortable with failing early, therefore learning early. Learning early about personal finance and investing is not only about the stock market. Marami pang other types of traditional asset classes like real estate, bonds, mutual funds, etc. Pili ka na lang ng isa dyan and learn the basics about it, and I'm sure you'll find it rewarding. Mas masarap kasing gumastos para sa mga hobbies natin, and liberating and walang feeling of guilt kapag gumagastos tayo for our hobbies, our passion, when you know in yourself na na-meet mo na yung financial responsibilities mo that will set you up for financial freedom in your future. Kasi after all, you are doing this for yourself, and ikaw lang yung makakatulong sa sarili mo. This money trap is not as crucial as the ones before, pero I still want to mention this. Pag-ibig MP2 is one of my favorite investment vehicles na available para sa atin. Yung discussion about MP2 deserves its own video, but for now, dalawa lang yung kailangan mong malaman. First, it is a voluntary savings program with an average return of about 6.02% based on 2011 to 2020 data. And second, the holding period is for 5 years. Pwede kang magdagdag at maghulog ng investment anytime, but once you open an account, 5 years later mo pa makukuha yung capital plus the dividends. As I said before, hindi ganun ka-crucial yung pag-open ng MP2 account during your 20s. Pero if you do open an account, magkakaroon ka na agad ng experience regarding this investment vehicle. Maraming kasing iba-ibang styles sa paghuhulog sa MP2. Yung pinaka-common na alam ko is first, pwede ka mag-lump sum, and then second, regular contribution. For example, mag-set ka lang ng date for yourself na maghuhulog ka every month. And then third is, kung meron ka lang extra, saka ka lang maghuhulog. Wala namang problema dun. The minimum investment is just 500 pesos and you can remit as many times as you want during the 5-year period. Having said that, yung advantage ng pagbubukas ng Pag-ibig MP2 as early as now is finding your own strategy. It's possible na akala mo mas prefer mo yung monthly ka magbabayad, regular contribution. Pero when you try it, baka ma-convince ka na mas convenient pala yung lump sum na lang. Or maybe a combination of both. Lump sum tapos magdadagdag ka every month, ganyan. Pero the point is, hindi mo malalaman yung strategy mo, yung bagay na approach sa'yo unless you try it. Of course, I won't force you, but I highly recommend na mag-open ka na. So yun lang guys, let me know in the comment section kung meron kayong mga pwedeng i-share na activities or practices that you started in your 20s na nakatulong sa inyo in your journey. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye!